Hey everyone, and welcome. So, if you've ever tried to learn German, you totally know that feeling. That moment when a sentence just seems completely, utterly backwards. But what if I told you there are just two simple keys that unlock the entire logic behind it? Stick with me because today we are going to crack the code of German grammar. So let's kick things off with a classic puzzle that trips up just about everyone who's starting out. You want to say, today I learned German. You know, a word-for-word translation feels like it should work, but in German, it's just wrong. And the reason why, well, that gets us to the very heart of how this language is built. Okay, so check this out. This is the difference in action. On the left, you see what happens when you translate directly from English to German. Heute ich lerne Deutsch. That's the common mistake. But on the right, that's the correct version. Heute lerne ich Deutsch. Did you see it? The verb lerne and the subject ich have literally swapped places. And that little switch, it's not random. It's our first key. And that first key is what we call the verb second rule. Now, I want you to think of this as the golden rule. It's like the non-negotiable anchor that holds pretty much every single German statement together. If you can master this one thing, you are already way, way ahead of the game.
So here it is, plain and simple. In a main clause, which is really just a fancy way of saying a normal sentence or statement, the main verb, the action word, absolutely has to be the second piece of information, the second element. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Let's look at the absolute most basic version of this. Ich lerne Deutsch. Ich, or I, is in position 1. And boom, right there in position 2, where it belongs, is our verb, lernen, to learn. Everything else just follows right after. Nice and clean, and it follows the rule perfectly.
Okay, but what happens if we decide to start the sentence with something else, like heute for today? This is where the magic really happens. Heute now grabs that first position, but remember, the verb, lerne, is anchored in position 2. It cannot move. So something's got to give, right? The subject, ich, gets bumped to the third position, right after the verb.
And this rule is so strong, it even works for whole phrases. Here, the entire idea, in Deutschland or in Germany, acts as one single chunk of information in position 1. And what comes next? You already know. The verb, sprechen, is locked firmly into position 2. Everything else in the sentence just arranges itself around that anchor.
So here's the bottom line. It doesn't matter what you start your sentence with, a person, a place, a time, whatever. That verb is like an unmovable rock in the second spot. Truly getting this simple idea is a massive leap forward, and it's what separates clunky beginner German from German that sounds much more natural.
All right, you've totally mastered the anchor. Now let's get to our second key, which is this idea that in German, nouns have jobs. You see, in English, we usually know who's doing what based on where the words are in the sentence, but German does something a little different. It uses what's called the case system to give each noun a specific role. Now today, we're just going to focus on one of those jobs, the accusative case. And please don't let the fancy grammar names scare you, because it's actually super straightforward. The accusative is simply the job for the noun that's directly getting the action. So if you see a dog, the dog is the direct object. If you buy a book, the book is the direct object. See? Simple.
So how does German show that a noun has this job? It's all in the article, the little word for the. But here's the secret that's going to save you so much headache. Look at this chart. The feminine word die stays die. The neuter word das stays das. The only one that changes is the masculine der, which becomes den. That's it. That's the entire rule.
And guess what? The pattern is exactly the same for the word for a or an. Feminine eine doesn't change. Neuter ein doesn't change. The only one that changes is the masculine ein, which just gets an n on the end and becomes einen. This consistency is your absolute secret weapon.
Let's see this out in the wild. For the dog, which is masculine, der Hund becomes den Hund. Same deal for a computer, also masculine, ein Computer becomes einen Computer. But now look at the last two examples. Because Frau, or woman, is feminine, and book, or book, is neuter, their articles die and das don't change one bit. It's really as simple as that.
Okay, deep breath. We have our two keys. Key 1, the verb is always, always, second. Key 2, we know how to mark a masculine thing that's getting the action. Now, it's time to put them together and start building some real, natural-sounding German sentences. So imagine you've got these words just jumbled up. What do we do first? We apply key 1. If we start with heute, then our verb, kaufe, has to come second.
So we have heute kaufe. Awesome. Now for key 2. Is book masculine? Nope, it's neuter, so ein Buch stays exactly as it is. We just slot our subject ich in after the verb, and there it is, our solution. Heute kaufe ich ein Buch.
Let's do a quick fire round. One more time. The puzzle is Morgen, wir sehen den Film. Okay, key 1. We start with Morgen, so the verb sehen has to come second. Easy. Key 2 is film the direct object? Yes. Is it masculine? Yes. So its article is correctly den. All that's left is to pop our subject wir right after the verb, and we get a perfect sentence. Morgen sehen wir den Film.
So, what is the big deal here? Why does this all matter so much? Well, this is more than just a little grammar exercise. When you truly internalize these 2 rules, it fundamentally changes how you approach German, and it puts you on a much, much faster path to fluency.
You know, it really all comes down to this. Just two rules. But these 2 principles are the bedrock. They're the foundation that you can use to build thousands upon thousands of correct sentences. They completely replace guesswork with a clear, reliable system for thinking in German.
And this is the ultimate takeaway here. So many people learning a language get stuck just trying to memorize endless tables of grammar. But if you can really absorb these 2 core ideas early on, your brain will just start building sentences the right way, almost on instinct. It is the best shortcut you can possibly take.
So today, you've actually unlocked 2 of the most powerful tools there are for speaking German. You've learned how to anchor every sentence with the verb second rule, and you've mastered the very first job for nouns, the accusative case. This is a huge, huge step forward. You now have the foundation for countless correct sentences. So now that you've got the accusative down, the only real question left is, are you ready for the next level?